This video is going to focus on dividing decimals by powers of 10. We are going to review what a power of 10 is, and then see how we can use that information to make dividing decimals by them a little bit easier. If you enjoy this video, please make sure to subscribe and use this practice in your everyday math life. So with that said, let's get started. Since we are starting off by dividing by powers of 10, it's a good thing to review what a power of 10 is. The powers of 10 we are going to be using for this video is 10, 100, and 1000. These are called powers of 10 because they can be expressed as exponents. 10 can be written as 10 to the first power, 100 can be written as 10 to the second power, and 1000 can be written as 10 to the third power. So we're going to be just using these three powers of 10. We're not going to use their exponential form, we're just going to use their normal standard form. And everything that we divide today is going to be either by 10, 100, or 1000. Now that we've said that, let's get to an example of dividing by a power of 10. First, we are going to divide 5 2/10 by 10. Now, dividing decimals by a power of 10 is really, really simple. All we have to do is move the decimal point. And we're going to move the decimal point based on how many zeros we have. So look at our divisor over here. We have 10. How many zeros do we have? We have 1. So that means we're going to move our decimal point one place to the left. And that's going to help us get our answer. So here's our decimal point. If I move it one place to the left, it's going to go right in front of the 5. So that makes our answer 0 and 52 hundredths. And there we have it. That's really all there is to it when we are dividing decimals by a power of 10. Figure out how many zeros you have, and then move the decimal that many places to the left. Now, let's look at a different example where I show the difference between dividing by 10 and dividing by 100. So this time we're going to divide 4 6/10 by 10, and then we're going to divide it by 100 to see how the differences in our zeros create different quotients. So just like last time, look at our divisor and how many zeros do we have? Just 1. So it's going to go one place to the left. So our decimal moves one place over here, it goes in front of the 4, and our answer ends up being 46 hundredths. But now look at the next part. If we divide it by 100, we have 2 zeros. So we're going to move that decimal 2 places to the left. And look what happens when we try that. I move it one place, and we get in front of the 4. But I don't have another digit to jump. This is empty over here. So whenever it's empty, we can put a 0 in front of it. And now we can do a second jump to be in front of the 0, and our decimal will go there. So this ends up giving us the answer of 0 and 46 thousandths. So all we had to do was add in a 0 if we ran out of digits to jump. And we decided how many digits we needed to jump based on the zeros in our divisor. Let's try another one just to make sure that this is making sense. This time we're going to divide 52 7/10 by 1000. Look at our divisor. We have 3 zeros, so we're moving it 3 places to the left. So take your decimal, move it 1, move it 2, and then just like before, we ran out of digits to jump, so we have to put in a 0, and then we can move it a third time, and the decimal will go right there. So when we have 52 7/10 divided by 1000, we end up with 0 and 527 10,000ths. Now, this is all great and such, but what happens if we're trying to divide a whole number by one of these powers of 10? I know this video is focusing mainly on decimals divided by powers of 10, but it doesn't hurt to show how we can handle a whole number. So let's look at one final example with a whole number being divided by a power of 10. Alright, for our last example, we are dividing 3 by 100. And you probably notice right off the bat that this whole number doesn't have a decimal anywhere. There's no decimal here, and there's no decimal here. So how are we going to use this trick? Well, we have to remember that a decimal point always goes to the right of the ones place. And since we're dealing with just a 3, that is in the ones place value. So there will be a decimal right here. It may not be shown, but it's understood that it is always there because it is always to the right of our ones place value. So with that understood, we can take the same approach as before. 2 zeros, so 2 places to the left. And then just like in the other previous examples, 1 jump, don't have any more digits, got to put in a 0. And then a second jump, and it'll go right there. So if we're dividing 3 by 100, our decimal answer is 0 and 3/100ths. I hope you found this video informative and it has helped you to understand how to divide decimals by powers of 10. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you subscribe, and good luck with your future mathematical endeavors.